It's time for another edition of 5 available whiskeys I'm drinking right now, Thanksgiving edition. These are whiskeys you could bring to a Thanksgiving Day dinner and share, or whiskeys you can just pop open with your family at your own Thanksgiving Day dinner. This was a challenging list because when you think about holidays, you think about, bringing out stuff that's a little bit more allocated, a little bit stuff that's higher priced. So I tried to keep it as available as I can. It's time to gobble till you wobble. It's the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C. from the Mash and Drum. Welcome back to the show and happy Thanksgiving. I decided to make one of these videos every other month since there are so many allocated bottles these days. I get asked a lot about bottles I share or bring for Thanksgiving. Most folks want the hard to find stuff, but if you don't have that kind of time or extra money around the holidays, here are 5 great bottles to find and share that are, for the most part, pretty available. Let's break it down though like a Thanksgiving Day dinner. Before we get into the first course appetizer, it's time to make a delicious bourbon cocktail. Great gift for the holidays, it's shaker and spoon. Just in time for the holidays, guys, for the craft cocktail lover in your life, look no further than Shaker and Spoon, the must-have cocktail subscription service that teaches you to make high-end bar quality cocktails from recipes designed by award-winning mixologists. Each one of these boxes gets built around one singular spirit. Could be bourbon, could be rum, could be cocktail, could be something else. Each box includes all the ingredients other than the alcohol for about 12 cocktails. Everything you need, syrups, bitters, garnishes, specialty syrups, all made in-house by Shaker and Spoon. Now, whether it's you or someone you gift this to, Shaker and Spoon gives you these recipe cards in each box that guide you through crafting each cocktail step by step in great detail. The glassware you need and detailed directions are all provided. Anyone can make and enjoy these high-end cocktails. Let's make one called Is It Summer Yet? So I already have 2 ounces of my bourbon in the shaker. Let's add some strawberry rhubarb syrup to it. Not just shake it until there's an icy film around the shaker. Let's go. Got that icy film. All right, strain it into my Collins glass. Gotta get fancy like a bartender. Top it off with this honey pear soda. It sounds kind of delicious. Then to finish it off, 1 to 2 spritzes of white sage hydrosol. 1, 2. All right, let's give it a go. Ooh, I can smell the sage. Honey, pear, strawberry. That's pretty summery and pretty damn delicious. Really easy to make too. All right, I know you guys want one of these now, so to get it, click the link below in the description and use the code MASHANDDRUM at checkout for $20 off your first box. That's right, 20 bucks off your first box. This will make an absolute great gift for the holiday season, and thanks to Shaker and Spoon for sponsoring the Mash and Drum. Cheers, everybody. All right, it's the appetizer. Cheese board, crackers, stuff to pick on, little charcutes. You gotta start off with something sweet and easy. For me, it's all about Evan Williams 1783. This is the big dog bottle. In May of last year, Heaven Hill reintroduced the brand with a more premium package design. They also increased the proof from 86 to 90 proof. It's reportedly a blend of 6 and 8-year-old bourbons. It's only like 20 bucks for 750 milliliter. This is the 1.75, and I think this was about 40 bucks. I mean, really great pricing on this. It's not gonna blow you away, but it's sweet with vanilla, oak, brown sugar, light caramel. It's kind of the perfect sweet and easy, no nonsense bourbon that you can, start off your Thanksgiving Day with. Next course is the soup. You want something a little bit more savory, something with a little more heat, something you could dip a little bread into and kind of swirl it around and eat that, right? It's Wild Turkey 101 Rye. Yeah, there are a lot of other Wild Turkey bottles to add to this list, but this is one that I definitely wanted to include because it's holidays in the glass. It really is. Rye spice, cinnamon, clove, lemon, and orange peel for days. Now, I generally prefer 101 Rye neat, but it's also a damn fine cocktail rye, old fashions, Manhattans. It all works. Reportedly a 4 to 6-year-old rye whiskey that I still think gets overlooked a bit all the time. 101 proof and only about 25 to 30 bucks. All right, next is the Thanksgiving Day turkey. That's right, you had the apps, you had the soup, you had a little bread, you're starting to fill up. It's time for the main course, something with loads of flavor, heft, viscosity, deliciousness. And while it would be easy to go with Wild Turkey Rare Breed, I'm going to go with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. A bit harder to find, I understand that, but it's released 3 times a year. Uncut, unfiltered, barrel proof, aged 12 years old. Most reviewers would tell you what a great value this is, and they would be right at about 60 to 80, sometimes $100 a bottle. But with 3 batches released a year, reviewers like me tend to pick favorites each and every year, but they are honestly all delicious. Sweet oak, leather, vanilla extract, brown sugar, toffee, and even some black cherry make this a behemoth of a bourbon. Now, if you can't find it, other great barrel proof options like Wild Turkey Rare Breed, which I mentioned, Maker's Mark Cask Strength, Maker's 46 Cask Strength, even some Maker's Mark Private Selects, 1792 Full Proof, Bullet Barrel Strength, and even Cask Strength Private Store Picks if your store does that. All right, it's time for coffee and dessert. First, the coffee, and nothing gives me those warm espresso notes like Old Forester 1910 Old Fine Whiskey. Story goes, in October 1910, a fire caused the bottling line to be shut down for a long period of time. Now, they had a huge vat of mature whiskey waiting to be bottled, and that whiskey was stored in new charred oak containers to rest until the line could be repaired. That double barreling was the first such documented of its kind and led to it gaining the name Old Fine Whiskey. So to make 1910 mature Old Forester whiskey enters a second barrel at 100 proof, just as it did in 1910. The second barrel is charred nearly to the point of incineration and comes out at 93 proof and priced at about 65 bucks. It delivers a thick and chewy mouthfeel. The palate is sweet, heavy layer of burnt caramel, vanilla, marshmallow, a little bit of chocolate, and as this opens up, you really start to get these little bit of espresso bean notes. Absolutely love it, and this is actually a fan favorite and a personal family favorite of mine and my family here on Thanksgiving. All right, last is dessert. And I want some pie. Now, Midwinter's Night's Dram from High West is probably the ultimate option, but obviously this is really hard to find. But if you have it, it's probably the ultimate option to go with. But there are others we can look at. You have Sagamore Spirit Port Finish, you have Angel's Envy, you have Woodinville Port Finish, Isaac Bowman Port Finish, and a lot more. But my choice for dessert, and another whiskey that I think gets overlooked, is Barrel Dovetail. Why? It's a barrel-proof whiskey finished in rum, port wine, and Dunn Vineyard Cabernet barrels. This is a blend of 10-year-old whiskey distilled in Indiana, finished in Dunn Vineyard's Cabernet barrels, and 11-year-old bourbon distilled in Tennessee, finished in blackstrap rum casks and LBV port pipes. This is about 80 bucks. It's bottled at cask strength. It's sweet, it's sugary, there's molasses, there's cherry, there's maple syrup, a little spice to it. It's dessert in a glass. This is what I have right here now. Even as this is opened up, it's just gotten sweeter, more viscous. All those different 3 cask maturations all combined to give you a really nice, just sweet experience. It's very desserty. Added Cuba ice, you could kind of sip on this all night for dessert. Delicious. All right, guys, here are my choices for my top 5 available whiskeys I'm drinking right now, Thanksgiving edition. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, find me on Instagram, find me on Twitter. Let me know your 5 choices down in the comments. Try to do it the way I did it. Try to see if you can kind of set it out by course. Remember, you have your appetizer, you have your soup, you have your main turkey, you have a little coffee, and a little dessert. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. So share it with your friends, family, make some memories, and I'll see you next time right here on The Mash and Drum.